Hello, I'm Will and this is Mike, we're the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And in this video we'll be looking at issue 62 of Warhammer 40,000 Combat Patrol magazine, which comes with two more paints, Caliban Green and Wild Rider Red. We'll be applying these to some of our models in the painting guide, and then we'll be heading into our game, where we'll have another Combat Patrol mission as part of our ongoing narrative campaign. We've got a painting guide to use our Wild Rider Red, which is an edge highlight for pretty much all of the red bits on all of the models we've had so far. So starting with the Eldari, there's quite a lot of edges on these, so take your time with a good point on your brush. And then they look nearly finished after that's been done. Then there's plenty of red on Space Marines as well, for some of the red helmets, gems, the captain's cloak, details on the librarian and the Teleport Homer and the chaplain. And then we're using Caliban Green to base coat the eye lenses of the Space Marines that have red helmets, rather than having a red lens, then washing them with non-oil and putting a little line with auric flesh to give them a bit more of a lens effect. And then that's the Space Marines done. Finally, we have Wild Rider Red highlights on the Leagues of Votann on some of the red areas, including the edges of the blades on the Chthonian Berserks. Then the red fleshy bits on the Barb Gaunts, and the edges of the new Genestealer Occult Magus' robes. Then we also have some Wraithbone highlights for the Tyranids, for some parts on some of their weapons, tentacles on the Von Rein's Leapers, and the wings on the Tyranid Prime. There's some in-progress shots of those, and again, starting to look pretty complete now. Then some more background on the Genestealer cults and their path to ascension, which is essentially their religion, where the Patriarch who's established the Genestealer cult is worshipped as an almost religious figure and teaches that their salvation is near at hand, with the star gods coming to liberate them from their oppression. And what the Genestealer cultists don't know is that that's actually heralding the approach of a Tyranid hive fleet which will just devour the planet. And as they get closer, it triggers the birth of more advanced Tyranid-like organisms in the cult. And once the Patriarch decrees it, the uprising will follow various stages, beginning with infiltration into political and military organisations of the planet. Then when the time comes, they will rise up in a great insurrection, causing civil strife and often paralysing the ability of the military to fight back through subverting the command structures. And eventually the Tyranid invasion itself will arrive. It doesn't really matter if the cult has been successful or not, because it has stabilised the planet and made it less able to resist the Tyranid invasion, which means it can more effectively harvest the resources. Of course, at this point, the cultists usually realise that the whole thing sold to them was a lie, and that they're just going to be eaten by aliens, but by then it's far too late. Then we have some background on heavy vehicles, large heavily armoured and armoured battle tanks, like the Rogel Dawn that you can see here, as used by the Astra Militarum. And some more examples, the corrupted Predator battle tanks of the Chaos Space Marines, Primaris Repulsors used by the latest breeds of Space Marine, and an Eldari Fire Prism. Less heavily armoured but sleek and fast with a powerful weapon. Then we have a short story called Enmity of Hope, where a salvage crew have located a Space Hulk that has just emerged from the war, trying to get in quickly to take all the best salvage before anyone else finds it. Having boarded it, they encounter some deadly hazards, and they also realise that they're possibly not alone on this Space Hulk. And eventually they will come to a bit of a sticky end, though you'll have to read the short story to find out exactly how. But that's it for the contents of this issue. We have another couple of campaign missions listed here, and then we'll be getting into our game. So I'll hand you over to Mike.
So no new units introduced in this video, so we can do a campaign game. And the next one we're going to do is Space Marines v Leagues of Votann. So we can see more of the Votann again, see their second unit at the very least. And we're going to be on Sweeping Raid. And the little background is that an Imperial system is being raided by the Leagues, and local militias haven't been enough to repel them. So the regional governors have called for help, and a Space Marine strike cruiser happens to be passing by and can't stand to see Imperial possessions being stolen. You have the victory outcomes if you got the campaign victory, or just the victory outcome for this game. The other game introduced in this issue is also Leagues of Votann v Tyranids on Display of Might. And here you can see the victory outcomes for that game. But we'll get our game set up and get straight into it. So here we are set up for Sweeping Raid. We've got objectives 1 to 4 going from left to right. The mission rule is that if you hold your home objective, you get an extra CP on a 4+ at the start of your command phase. In battle rounds 2, 3 and 4, we each score 5 victory points at the end of our command phase for each objective you control. And then at the end of the battle, the Space Marines will score 5 VP if they hold objective 3, and 10 if they hold objective 4, while the Votann, they score 5 if they control objective 2, and 10 if they control objective 1. And I believe this issue also came with a new battle mat, or something around this time we got it, so we can do a full board with the sort of green goo over the sandy industrial terrain, so there's a bit more variety of battle mats now. Looking at the Space Marines first.
Yeah, so I'll be playing them today. We've got the standard combat patrol with the Librarian who's joining the Terminators. The Infernus Marines are behind a pile of barrels, and the Captain is waiting in Deep Strike, and he's going to have Champion Duelist to give him precision and lethal hits on his melee weapons, and I'll take the secondary objective where he gets 2 victory points every time he kills them all.
And here you can see the Votann Combat Patrol, and I've chosen to split the Hearthkin Warriors into 2 units of 5 this time. So the one on the far left has the scanner and the Magna Rail Rifle, while the one with the Carl in it has the unit leader, the Highlands Auto Rifle and the Medipack. I've also got the Einhyr Hearthguard rather than the Berserks, basically because we haven't seen them in a full Combat Patrol game, and then the Pioneers, who will be outriding on the bottom of the board. I'm going to take the alternate secondary objective and enhancement for the Carl. So my secondary objective is Settle a Grudge. So in the second battle round onwards, at the start of the battle round, I can select one enemy unit that is not destroyed and has one or more judgment tokens on it to be the target for that battle round, and at the end of the battle round I score 4 VP if that target has been destroyed. While the enhancement is the Pragmat Comms uplink, which gives +1 OC to the Carl's unit, and they can reroll Battleshock tests. Now we're just rolling off to see who goes first. I won the roll-off, so I go first. We're into Votann turn 1. So here's my scout move of the Pioneer, just moving them 9 inches towards objective 3, and this happens technically before the start of my turn, so I'll come back after I've moved the rest of my army. So you can see the rest of my movement basically. The squad of Hearthkin up at the top are just going to stay still to hold objective 4 and screen off the captain. The bikes haven't actually moved, they just made their scout move. The Hearthkin have advanced to get on objective 3 so I can maintain control over that in the next turn, and the Hearthguard have just moved up normally, and my judgment token went on the Space Marines and I also gained a CP per the mission rule. So we'll be on to shooting, where I will start with the Pioneers, and they're going to shoot at the Terminators because they're the only target. I will spend a CP for pan-spectral sweeps that gives them lethal hits. We've got 9 shots with autocannons on 3s, thanks to the judgment token. 6s are lethal. 3 lethals, I'll take that. And 4 regular hits, that's strength 7, so wounding on 3s. We managed to roll a cocked dice on the flat thing. That's 3 extra wounds, so 6 wounds in total, but it's only AP minus 1.
2 of them actually have cover from that angle, so I can roll at least 4 of these on 2s. So past all of them. 2 more to go. I made those. Yeah, because normally even with cover you can't go beyond a 3+ save unless you already have one to begin with. And then 6 shots from the Highlas rotary cannon, again on 3s. 6s are lethal and sustained. So they all hit, plus a lethal and a sustained. And these are strength 6, so they're wounded on 3s as well. So that's going to be 4 wounds in total, again at -1. Definitely won't be enough to kill both of the ones that are in cover, so I'll just roll these. No ones again, so we're okay.
And the only other shooting I have is the Highlas rotary cannon, the Highlas auto rifle from the Carl squad, so I'll just roll that now. Again, 6 shots on 3s. Get that in the box. 6 hits, wounded on 3s again because it's strength 6. 5 wounds at -1.
Certainly at least one of them has cover, so I'll roll these. Still no ones.
Well, that's going to be it for my turn. We're on to Space Marines turn 1.
I put Oath of Moment on the Pioneers, because they're going to be my shooting target, and I spent a command point for Duty and Honour to secure Objective 1 before the Terminators move away from it, which they have done, and then the Infernal Marines advanced and they got a 6, so they got onto Objective 2. Of course, they won't be able to shoot, so I'll just have the one shooting, which will be the Terminators on the Pioneers. We will do Focused Switchfire Smite from the Librarian.
And I'll spend a CP for Scheme Wrought Physiology to give them +1 save.
So starting with that Smite, D6 shots. 1. I think I might re-roll that because I don't need that command point for anything else. 3. On 2s because he benefits from the Terminator's rule while he's in the unit. And sustain hits 1 because of his own rule, so that's 4 hits. Which will be winning on 4s because the focus one is strength 6. 2 wounds at -2.
Game Wrought Physiology gives me +1, so we got 4+ saves. Failed both. I'm going to re-roll one of them because I want the bikes to survive. Nope.
D3 damage each.
1 at a time.
1 at a time.
So
3.
1 dies.
And 1.
1 takes a wound.
Assault Cannon next on 2s. 6s are sustained, so re-roll the 1 into a hit, so that's 8 hits thanks to sustained. Strength 6, so winning on 4s. 6s are devastating wounds. 1 devastating and 3 normal wounds with no AP.
So these will be on 3s. Make them all, but take a wound.
And then 12 shots from Stormbolters, 1 guy is in rapid fire range. On 2s, rerolling 1s. And 6s are sustained, so that will be 15 hits. Wounding on 5, so 4 at no AP.
3+ saves. Failed 1, so that will kill another bike, just the one with the laser left.
And Hazardous for the Librarian, takes wounds on 1. Nope.
So that's the state of the board at the end of Space Marines turn 1. On to Votann turn 2. So in my command phase, I got an extra command point again. I got 10 victory points for holding 2 objectives. I have to make a Battleshock test for the lone Pioneer. Failed. Well, I think that's fine for now. I'm going to pick the Infernus Marines as my target for Settler Grudge, because I get the Hot Batarang to do it, and I'm hoping to get the Hearthguard into melee with them. The Terminators are going to gain a second Judgment token, so I get +1 to wound. And then my movement, the Hearthguard have moved towards the Infernus Marines. The squad of Hearthkin at the top are going to stay there to screen off the captain. The Pioneer has moved back to, at the end of the Space Marine turn, be able to use his outflanking ability, while the other unit of Hearthkin with the Coal have moved a little bit to get away from Objective 3 to make the Space Marines charge harder, if they do go that way, but are still in range of the Terminators. And I think I'm going to start shooting with the Einhyr Hearthguard. We're just going to put everything into the Terminators. We're going to start with the grenade launchers, d6 shots each with blast, so that'll be 5d6 plus 5. 23 shots hitting on 2s. It is strength 4 normally, but with +1 to wound, that means I wound on 4s. Only 6 with no AP.
6, 2+ saves. Fail 1, take a wound. Oh.
Then we've got 15 shots from the Vulcanite Disintegrators, again on 2s. 13 hits, wounding on 3s thanks to the Judgment tokens, and 6s are devastating. So 3 devastating and 4 regular wounds with no AP.
So 4 saves. Made those, but 3 wounds will kill a model and that wound will transfer to another.
Next I'll do the Hearthkin with the Carl, who are all just about in range with their iron rifles. I'll use Pan-Spectral Sweep on these guys because there are quite a few shots coming out of the high las. So 3 iron rifles on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 3s, again strength 5 but +1 to wound. 2 wounds at -2.
These will be on 4s. Failed 1, so another wound.
6 shots from the high las on 3s, so 1 lethal but only 2 normal hits. Wounding on 2s. Only 1, so 2 at -1.
3+. Failed 1. I think I'll re-roll that just to avoid losing a Terminator. Yes.
And 3 shots from the Carl's Vulcanite on 2s. They all hit, no lethals. And then wounded on 3s, 6s are devastating. Oh, there's a devastating wound and a save but no AP.
So a 2. Oh, failed that as well, so that's actually going to kill another one.
Finally, I've got the lone Harnkin Pioneer who's going to put all its shots into the Terminators as well, starting with the autocannon. 3 shots from the autocannon on 3s. Only 1 hit. Wounds on a 2 though. Nope. And then 6 shots from the high las on that one. Hitting on 3s, 6s are sustained with this one. No sustained and 5 hits. Strength 6, so 3s goes to 2s. That's 4 at -1.
3s again. Failed 2, so another Terminator dead.
Then the Hearthguard are going to try and charge Infernus Marines. It's going to be an 8 because I think we can run basically directly at them without needing to get over the barricade. So their charge is a 10, so they're in. So with a charge and a pile in, we can all get in like that, get all of them on the objective to contest objective 2. 15 attacks hitting on 3s. 12 hits, wounding on 3s because strength 6. Only 6 wounds, but at -2.
So saving on 5s. Well, get them in the box, but not good. No, 5 damage, 2.5 dead. And then 9 attacks back on 3s. 7 hits, wounding on 5s. 2.
2+ saves. Made both. There we are at the end of Votann turn 2, on to Space Marines turn 2.
So I did gain 5 victory points and an extra CP for holding my home objective, and then Oath of Moment's gone on the Hearthguard because we're going to have to deal with them, so the Infernus Marines have fallen back and the Terminators have gone across to sort that out. The captain has arrived from Deep Strike, 9 inches away from the warriors. He is on objective 3 there, so if he does fail his charge, he'll still take it away from them. So I'll start shooting with the captain because he's going to shoot the Hearthkin warriors in front of him because he gets a victory point if he kills one. So that'll be 4 shots on 2s. Oh, not a great start. 5s to wound. 1.
4+ save. Made it.
And then the Terminator's going to shoot the Hearthguard.
Yeah, and I think use a CP for Skein Physiology, so I get +1 to my save.
And I'm using Focus Witchfire again for that extra AP and strength, so D6 shots with that. 2. Oh, I'm going to CP that for more shots because I need to get rid of them. 5. 2's re-rolling because of the Terminators. They all hit. 4's to wound. 4 at -2.
Goes to -1, so we got 3+ saves. I'm going to have to re-roll one of those. No.
See what the damage rolls are. First one kills 1. Kills 1. 1 damage. Assault Cannon, 2's re-rolling, 6's are sustained. 7 hits. 4's. 2 devastating wounds and 2 normal.
2+ saves on the normals. Save those, but we'll lose another one.
And 2 Stormbolters at close range on 2's re-rolling. No sustained, only 7 hits. 5's to wound. 4.
Again with 2s. Made them all.
And the Librarian's hazardous test. He's fine. Do the Terminator's charge first into the Hearthguard. 3 would be enough. A 5 is. I'll just roll the Captain as well, going into the Warriors. 9-inch charge, but he gets a free reroll. So 4 and a 10. He's in.
You can see the results of both charges.
And I'll do the Terminators first. So I've got 6 Power Fist attacks on 2s re-rolling. And a miss, but the sustained works in melee as well, so 6 hits. Wounding on 3s. 5 wounds.
4 plus saves. Failed 2, so that'll kill the rest of the Hearthguard.
And then the Captain fighting the Hearthkin with the Carl. 6 attacks on 2s with lethal hits, but that's not a great roll. And 4s to wound. 3 wounds. He does have precision, thanks to his enhancement, and it would be nice to get rid of the Carl, but I also want 2 victory points. So the way precision works is I get to decide where to allocate the wounds rather than the controlling player, so I'm actually going to allocate to Hearthkin until 1 dies, and then after that we'll put them on the Carl.
So 6 plus save for a Hearthkin. Nope. Feel no pain. He's dead. And then 2 on the Carl with a 4 plus invulnerable. Made 1, failed 1. And 6 plus feel no pain. That takes 2 damage. So the Hearthkin's close combat weapons on 4s. Ooh, 2 hits. And 5s. You never know. Nope. 2 attacks from the Thane on 4s. He gets a hit. Strength 5, so 4s. Ooh, a wound at -2.
4 plus invulnerable. Saved.
And the Carl has 3 attacks on 3s. They all hit. Strength 8, so 3s. 2 wounds at -2.
Rolls again. Failed 1. I'll spend my CP to re-roll that. Nope, still failed. 3 damage, down to 3.
But with the piling and consolidating, I'm able to keep hold of objective 3. And at the end of the turn, the lone pioneer will use his outflanking Outrider's ability and disappear. So there's the state of the board at the end of battle round 2. On to League's turn 3. So in my man phase, I'll gain another 10 victory points to go up to 20. I didn't gain an extra CP this turn. I'm not sure if the Pioneer has to make a battle shock test, because it's technically not on the board, but we're going to assume it does, in case it needs to arrive. Which it passed with 7. My target for my secondary will be the Captain, and I'll put a Judgment token on him as well. And then the Hearthkin squad is just going to fall back to allow the other squad to shoot at the Captain. Now here my remaining Pioneer will outflank to be near objective 1, and it can just about see the Infernus Marines. So I'll start shooting with the Pioneer, put everything into the Infernus Marines. Rotary cannon first, because it only does 1 damage. So we've got 6 shots on 4s. 4 hits, but this has sustained, so that's 6 hits. Wounding on 3s. 6 wounds.
We'll have cover from the thingamabob, but we do still fail 2 saves and lose another Marine.
Then the auto cannon is also on 4s, it only gets 1 hit. And it wounds on a 3 as well. It wounds.
Also a 3 with cover. Fail that as well. It kills another one.
Then my only other shooting is the other Hearthkin unit who are going to shoot at the Captain.
And I think the Captain's going to go to ground somehow in his Terminator armour.
I'll do the important gun first, which is the rail rifle. It hits on a 4 because he didn't move. I mean, it has +1 to hit anyway. It didn't hit, so I'm going to re-roll that and try and fish for a hit. Nope. And then 4 ion rifles on 3s. 1, which doesn't wound. But that's going to be it. I will take objective 1 though at the very least, as we head into Space Marines turn 3.
So I get 5 victory points for holding objective 2. I'm also going to spend my command point to secure it. I didn't hold my home objective because the Pioneer took it. The lone Infernus Marine passed his battle shock test. Basically he's going to have to come over and take it again, but he's going to need the Terminator's help to actually kill the Pioneer, so they don't really have much choice but to line up to shoot it. And the Captain's going to stay stationary so he doesn't get overwatched if he tries to move. And over the moment's going on the warriors around him, and I might as well start shooting with him on them. So 2's re-rolling now because of over the moment. Well, of course he didn't miss this time. 5's to wound. Oh, 2, no AP.
4 plus saves. Failed both. Feel no pain. Hey, 1 lived.
Well, I do get 2 VP. And then everything on the Pioneer. I'll start with the Infernus Marine on the unlikely event that he kills him and the Terminator can shoot something else. D6 shots, 2. That wound on 5s because it is tough for 6. 1.
Yeah, ignores cover, so 4 plus. Failed, takes damage.
But I will put all of the Terminator's shots into it, and we will use the Super Smite from the Librarian just to try and punch through that save with the cover. D6 of them. Well, 6 on 3s because it's not the over the moment target. 4 hits, 4s to wound. 2 at -2.
-1 with the cover is 5s. Made 1. Gonna re-roll that. Yes!
The Assault Cannon hits once, with a whole string of 2s and does wound.
3+. Made it.
And only 4 Stormbolter shots along 3s. So we're too far away. We do get a sustain, so that's 5 hits. 5s to wound. 3.
3s. Failed 1. It's still there.
And Librarian Hazardous Test. He's fine. Lone Infernus Marine's going to try and charge and finish off that Pioneer. Needs about an 8. Gets 2. And I don't have a CP. And the Captain doesn't need to roll. He's going to go in. Obviously then the only fighting, so it'll be him. So 6 attacks on 2s re-rolling. 6s are lethal. Re-roll. Still no lethal, but at least they will hit this time. But 4s to wound. Getting 4. I do want to kill the Carl, and actually 1 going through will just kill him anyway, so that would give me my 2 VP regardless. So we'll just put them 1 at a time on the Carl, basically.
Yeah, so 4+ invulnerable. There you go. Feel no pain. He's dead.
And then the remaining 3 on the...
6s. Ooh. Hey, one of them lives. Feel no pain. Nope. And no, almost. So it's just the Thane left, but also because the Captain destroyed the Carl, he gains judgment tokens. He's got 2 attacks on 3s, 2 hits, strength 5, so 3s to wound, 2 wounds at -2.
2 damage each, so on 4+. I made 1, but takes 2, he's down to 1 wound remaining.
And that is the end of battle round 3. Not an awful lot of models left as we head into Leagues of Votann turn 4. So I did get an extra CP. I will pick the Captain to be the target of my secondary objective. Important Tabletop tests. I'll do the Pioneer first. Leadership 7. Fails. I will pass that with Insane Bravery. And then the Hearthkin Thane. Fails with a 4, so I only get 10 victory points because objective 3 will be unstickied. So the Thane is Tabletop, he is going to fall back. So he has to make a desperate escape test. So on a 1 or a 2, I think he dies. He lives.
But I'm actually going to spend my command point to overwatch him with the Captain when he falls back, because the Captain could get 2 victory points for killing him. Also, the Captain might just get shot to bits in a minute, and he does have survive for the moment, so these will be 6s to hit, but re-rolling. There's 1 hit already. Just 1. Needs to wound on a 5, though. Oh, it did!
With a 4+ save. No, can't re-roll it. So those Hearthkin have to shuffle a bit to all see the Captain, and they'll shoot at him. 4 iron rifles on 3s. 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. 3 wounds at -2.
Got to pass all his saves. No, failed 2. Captain goes down.
And that will get me 4 victory points for finishing my secondary objective. And then here the Lone Pioneer will just put everything into that Infernus Marine. Auto cannon first. 3 shots on 4s. Getting 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds at -1.
Not close enough to the train to have cover, so 4s to save. No dice.
But that's going to be it for my turn. On to Space Marines turn 4.
But we can call the game there because I gain 5, going up to 23 points. But in turn 5, I can only score more points by holding objectives 3 and 4. I could get to objective 3 with a couple of good advance rolls with the Terminators, and then I still only score 5, which will put me at 28 maximum. As it is, even if I kill the Pioneer and therefore stop the League scoring any points in their turn, they're already ahead by 11.
Yeah.
It's a maximum of 28 for me, and the Leagues of Votann are already ahead.
Yeah. So we might as well call the game there, and we'll cap it for you now. So that was our game for issue 62 of Warhammer 40,000 Combat Patrol magazine. How do you think that went?
Well, it almost got there. We had very little at the end left. I think a few dice rolls going a different way could have swung the game, possibly. The problem, as usual for the Space Marines, is lack of speed. Captain nearly managed to compensate for that by actually making his charge and dealing with a unit of Hearthkin and the Carl. But, of course, he just got shot, so he didn't survive to benefit from the gains he'd managed. Had he survived, he would have probably, by the end of the game, been able to go over and take your home objective.
Yeah, I think basically what happened is I was able to occupy the Terminators in your half of the board, so at the end of the game they weren't where you needed them to be, and the Pioneers outflanking just threatens your home objective, and you don't really have the units to screen them off and deal with them when they turn up.
Yeah, I was pleased to get rid of 2 of them with initial shooting. What I was hoping would happen actually is that the Hearthguard would fail their charge and the Terminator could deal with them and basically swap places with the Infernus Marines who could go and secure my home objective. But as usual, the Infernus Marines didn't get to shoot anything at all, and when that happens with the Space Marines it's often a bit of a struggle. Quite a few of the Combat Patrol missions do have this style of deployment though, and that's actually really bad for the Infernus Marines because they're too far away from anything. I suppose our terrain setup could have benefited them a bit more by having some line of sight blocking in the middle of the board that they could have run to and then used for safety to start with. Then again, you didn't actually shoot them with any of your long range guns, you just dealt with them in melee.
Yeah, and I think my shooting the first time wasn't really that effective, but it was against Terminators and you can just go to ground. Most of my long range guns were only AP1, so it's not too surprising.
But once you did get the 2 judgment tokens on them, they did start to take casualties. Really the lower AP volume Ring of Fire that actually got rid of them in the end.
Yeah, forcing you to make saves, eventually you'll fail them. And the devastating wounds from all the Volkite is actually quite handy.
Yeah, that did do quite a lot of work in this as well.
And I was a bit disappointed with the Hearthguard. I think if they'd survived even just another turn, I don't think you would have been able to get back in time to deal with Objective 1.
I think the thing with the Hearthguard is they're not really that good against Space Marines in general. Yes, they can deal with the Infernus Marines fine in melee, but actually having no AP, no invulnerable save.
The invulnerable save is not that important. They're as good as Terminators against AQ -2. But it's the fact they have 2 wounds, so they get power fisted to death much easier than Terminators do.
I would have thought the Berserks would do better against certain things, but on the other hand, if the Berserks had moved within 12 inches of the Infernus Marines, I would have overwatched them, because they're toughness 5 with poor armour save. No point doing that against the Hearthguard, because they are toughness 6 with 2+ save. It's just the Flamers aren't going to hurt them.
And with this open terrain, they're really not going to have a good time. Yeah, and I think possibly with my secondaries, I probably should have picked the first one. I probably would have scored more points out of it. Not that it mattered in the long run, I suppose, because Space Marines, kind of hard to kill. And I believe you can only pick units that have Judgment tokens on, which was only Terminator armoured units. And the other enhancement, giving Hearthguard OC3 is quite good. Even a unit of 5 will have 15 plus 2 from the Coal. And rerolling Battle Shock Test is handy as well. But again, against the Space Marines, they're all OC1, so I don't really need the extra OC for Hearthkin, and be able to fall back and shoot would have been much more useful in this case.
Yeah, if you're against anything with any melee, then fall back and shoot is generally pretty good. I think my choice of secondaries and enhancement also worked out quite well, because against a shooty army, I think the Librarian giving the Terminators sustained hits is probably better, so I have a lot of firepower in return, and the Captain is better going off by himself when he's not at risk of being eaten by a big monster or stomped by a Dreadnought or something. I decided I wanted the Librarian with the Terminators shooting more than I wanted the Captain with them giving them extra OC. And actually having precision did help, because I killed the Carl.
Yeah, he's only got 4 wounds, so he's not very beefy, unfortunately.
No. His gauntlet hits hard if he punches you, which the Captain did discover.
Took half his health off.
Yeah.
Well, we might not see the Space Marines for a little while, because I think they've now played 3 full combat patrol games as part of the campaign. I think Chaos is the only faction to have not won a game yet, but otherwise there isn't too much more to say about this game or this issue. So as always, if you like this content, do leave a like and subscribe, and leave any comments how you've been getting on with the magazine. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now.